Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all well. Welcome to this video where I'm going to be discussing how to do market research for setting up a recruitment agency. Now, one of the things that are the most important that people overlook is actually what sector should you be recruiting in, what job titles, what type of roles should you be targeting. Now, this is probably one of the most important things because if you get this wrong at the initial stage, you're going to have to rebrand yourself, reset up, and you're going to lose 1 or 2 months. Chances are, what I see, a lot of people set up businesses as a recruitment agency, start going into IT, start going into finance, don't get any traction in the first month or two, and then literally just quit. They feel recruitment isn't for them, it's too hard to get traction. On the other side, someone that picked their niche correctly would be doing very well. And what I mean by correctly, there's not much competition and there is a demand. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the competition using a website called Agency Central. And then we're going to go into Indeed and we're going to see what type of job titles, what the competition level is like, and the demand. So initially, what we want to look for is two things. First is not too much saturation in the market. And then we're going to look on Indeed and we're going to see how sort of often or how much jobs are out there and how many agencies are working on it. So it's going to contradict itself and you're going to see why. So what I'm going to do is just click this part. And this is based for the UK. However, any country you're in, there's going to be some sort of sector. So as you guessed, the accountancy part is very large. So this is just a broad. I think agencies go on here and pay to list on here. It's quite a popular website. So if a candidate is searching, I don't know, an accountancy firm in Liverpool, chances are there's about 30 or 40 on there. So accountancy across the country, there's 1,200. So admin as well. So any agency that covers admin, there's quite a high number. So these are kind of saturated. So that's the sort of top ends. Now, when we look down at agriculture, in my previous video I made, agriculture was mentioned in terms of farming. There's not too much there. Arts, I guess, is a very small sector. Also automotive. I mean, I don't want to go through them all, but aviation is a bit dead at the moment. Banking also goes into finance. So if we just look at where's IT, IT is, the same as accountancy. Pharmaceutical. So PR looks like a good one. So we might use that as an example. Project management. Property I mentioned in a previous video as a good sector. Social care, which is as large as, accountancy and finance. However, it's, 3 times, 4 times the size. Accountancy finance of companies operating. This isn't a global sort of indication. However, there's probably about 10,000 on here. So, it gives you a good idea. Logistics, legal, IT is massive. Insurance looks like a good sector as well. We might look into that. So this is something you can do, and you don't just trust me on it. Look at the sort of, engineering is massive as well. Again, I mentioned it, energy and renewables. That's counting energy. I don't know. Phone lines. Well, that doesn't class as energy, but phone lines wouldn't. Phone lines would probably go into call center, customer service, or IT. But gas, electric, that goes into there. So there's kind of a good amount of topic. It will help you brainstorm some ideas as well. So what was I going to say? PR. So let's look at PR. And let's say find me a job. And I want to have a look at these websites. I want to see if there's a big player in it as well. So in terms of market research, you want to look at, hey, is there a big sort of... So they've got 3 branches. Let's just look at their website. And let's see how many jobs they have on, what type of jobs, and if they recruit in just PR. So they do obviously marketing, sales, it seems like. Been around 10 years. That may or may not be true. Proactive personnel. I'm guessing these guys are going to be old school just based on the name. And we want to have a look at their jobs. See, they don't particularly specialize in PR, which is good. So there's not really a sort of PR based agency. I mean, we'll just look at one more. And what we're trying to find is, hey, look, we're the specialist niche. So digital and creative, that's what we want to kind of see with that. But they've sort of branched out into other sectors as well. So they haven't got many jobs on, so they're not doing fantastic. This could be, 1 or 2 people in there as well. So they're more digital marketing, pretty much any of those nice sort of topics. So we're going to just search PR. Let's see what comes up. So we got 1,200 jobs, which is good, believe it or not. And we've got a nice split. So I'm going to type in public relations, see if that makes any difference as well. No, same thing really. And we've got half split. So I would say, based on my experience, that could be 100 to 200k off a desk. You can do that. You'll probably never grow to more than 5 consultants, or you'll have to branch out in that. You would happily, very happily, work in a sector, work in a recruiting for PR, just off the bat, based on this, looking at it, you could very much win good business in this sector. And if I saw that below 100 and that was 800, I wouldn't touch it. However, it's half the amount, which is good. There aren't, just based on what we just looked at, there's not really a specialist agency. I mean, we'll keep looking, but they all seem to be, we're doing marketing, we're doing events, we're doing digital, but just a little idea as, hey, look, public relations, I mean, these guys are doing everything like fabrication, export sales. They're not really a specialist agency. So we're going to just quickly do another one. So we're going to type in PR recruitment agency. Yeah, we're going to see what happens. See if anything comes up. And let's just click the first 3. I mean, that's Hayes, so we don't want to click them because they try and do everything. Let's see these guys' sectors. So it's not really just public relations. It seems to just be a lot of that. You can do this for any subject, any topic. What we do, PR futures. I mean, I don't think these guys are even going to be. I mean, is this a legitimate company? Is it a PR futures? And that's what I mean by, a website. Does this look really? What do they do? I mean, they've got a what do we do? Then they've got contract cover. Then they've got job seeker tips, blog, job search, job alerts. What is this? They're giving away their clients. I mean, this is I don't believe any of this, but what we do for candidates, current PR job vacancies. Yeah, please, that's what we want to see. So media director, and I'll look for a date to see if they've is there a date available. I'm curious now. I have to look up this company. And PR futures. I don't want to look at their LinkedIn. I don't want to give them promotion, but PR futures. What I want to do is just put that in speech marks. Okay, so this is a good indication of a company that could potentially be looking at, just PR, and they don't look the bee's knees. They don't look too special. They've only got 5 jobs on. So chances are there's 1 or 2, maybe 3, if that, working in this industry as well, or for this company. So going back to, the actual thing, have a look at the job titles. Now you want to make a note of salaries that are above, let's say, 50k. So it seems senior PR manager, PR account director. I think that touches everything. So it's like the manager sort of sector, PR director, PR manager. That's what you want to look at. So that's your sort of high end. Oh god, I should have really done the search. Let's go to 55. And as you can see, there's a half split. So there's a big demand there, an equal demand for agencies and employers. Chances are they're probably using just marketing agencies or just a general sort of, administration organization. They're going to be more inclined to use you if you're a PR branded. We only specialize in that. We don't do tech, we don't do digital, just public relations related jobs. They're more likely to use you, so therefore you're easier to win business and take market share from the companies that probably don't know what they're doing, as well as companies that aren't really a specialist. And that's what you want to sort of portray in that. So let's just look again for positions above, let's say 30 now, and see if that makes any indication. So that again, that's pushed that number up and that's over half of what we saw in the original amount, and it's just pushed that number up. So anything above 30k is very likely, or somewhat likely to be used to help recruit by agencies. So without waffling on too much, I mean, you can look up communications managers. I don't know if that's even related. I don't know much about the sector. I just picked it out for the video. But campaigns managers, PR managers, and then you can touch on the social PR side as well. So you can open it up, but starting off PR focused, then you expand your agency once you've got clients, and you can say, hey, look, we do social media, we do marketing, we do digital. But starting off, establish yourself as a niche number one brand. I'll give you an example. I started a language agency, but I picked a specific language to recruit for, and then I grew from there. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was clear. Hope it gave you a bit of valuable information. If you've got any questions, do let me know, and take care.